On a certain sightseeing tour, the ratio of the number of women to the number of children was 5:2. What was the number of men on the sightseeing tour? So I have this ratio of men to women to children, or I should say, I really just have a ratio of women to children, but I assume the men will also be included in the ratio once we look at the statement. So from the prompt, I know my women to my children is 5:2. And so I can say I have 5x women in my tour group, and I have 2x children in my tour group. And I don't know anything about my men, other than that's what I'm looking for. Statement 1. On the sightseeing tour, the ratio of the number of children to the number of men was 5:11. So remember, we can't just put, we can't just say, men to children is, or I should say children to men is 5x to 11x, because this is a different ratio, and therefore we don't necessarily know that it's going to have the same multiplier as this guy over here. So I'll put that ratio down here and say this is a ratio, and they do with children to men, so 5y children, and then I have 11y men. Okay, so can I get what 11y is? I don't think I will be able to. One thing I can do, though, it looks like, is what do I know? I know, this is all the same group of children. It's not like I have a different pool of children here than I have here. So I know 2x must be equal to 5y, which means I can get these two ratios I have of two things into a single ratio of three things. So let's see if we can do that. So x is equal to 5/2 y. So that means I can get my ratio all in terms of y if I wanted to. So men I already have in terms of y, 11y. Women I have in terms of x, so I got to convert that to y. So 5 times 5/2y. So this should be 25/2y. And then children I have in terms of both, so I can choose, and I want everything in terms of y. And so I'm still left with the same problem, though, without knowing what y is. I can't solve for any of my people, but I'm a little bit closer than I was before, because instead of having two multipliers or two variables, I now only have one, but it's still insufficient. Statement 2 says the number of women on the sightseeing tour was less than 30. So what does that mean? So I have 5x women. So remember, we got to sort of forget about this guy for now. And so right now we just know 5x is less than 30, which means our x, our multiplier, is less than 6. So A, there's still plenty of possible values for x, and also we don't know how our men fit into this ratio anyway, so this is definitely going to be insufficient. And so now together what we know. So now we have a single ratio, this ratio here. And if I want to get rid of my fraction here, I can multiply everything by 2 to get another ratio that is 22y to 25y to 10y from my men to women to children. And so now, if I put everything in terms of y, what is it saying? It's saying our women is less than 30. So our second statement, when we're looking at them together, is really saying 25y is less than 30. So remember something, I cannot have partial people. So this y has to be an integer multiplier. And so there's only one value for y in which my women will be less than 30. That is when y is equal to 1. And so based on that, my men must be equal to 22 times 1, which is 22. In other words, I can find out how many men, women, and children I have. And they could have asked for any of those. I got 22 men, I got 25 women, and I got 10 children. And I got 57 total people in my group. And that was only with both statements together that I figured that out.